Hey, paisans, the time has come. On the air since 2009, the independently produced, non-FCC compliant champ of video game talk podcasting. Here comes Tiger Claw Radio. Here's your host, Critical Failure.
Welcome everybody to Tiger Claw Radio. This is your host, Critical Failure. What a week it's been. Alright, so this week we're going to play some tracks from Cookie Fonster, who we played like maybe 3 weeks ago on the show. I dug up one of his albums, and he actually got wind of it and reached out. Left some comments on YouTube. It was very nice. So that, we're going to talk about my run-in with Sean in some Street Fighter 2, and what a bloody mess that was. We're going to talk about some Neon Chrome, and some what other video games. Stick with us. You're listening to Tiger Claw Radio. That's, jeez. We'll go with these Japanese names, man. It gets tough to read. Nichigoju Maino. It's Cookie Fonster, okay? That's who it is. It's Cookie Fonster. It's track 8. It's the same, what's the name of the album? Cookie Fonster's 2019 Famine Tracker covers. It's the same album that we played a couple weeks ago. He left a comment. We're going to read it in the fail bag later in the show. It's good stuff. I like this guy. I like it. All right. So, hang on one second. Yes. I lost my train of thought for a second. So I reinstalled Classic Winamp as my main MP3 player on my computer recently. I had been using AIMP, which is a more modern MP3 player, but it was made by the same dev team, so I'm told. There was some sort of connection. Didn't like it as much. Every time I would load up a track and listen to it, it would want to check for updates and stuff like that. It got really old. I wanted to just load the MP3. Just do it fast. I don't have time for this. Just I want to click the thing and then that's all I want. And as it turns out, even after all these years, Winamp is still the one. I just started digging through my files. I wanted to drop in the classic Winamp demo byte that still to this day comes when you download Winamp. It really whips the llama. But with all that taken care of, now it's time for video games. So, I got some more Japanese PS1 games coming in the mail, which is ridiculous because the last ones I ordered haven't even got here yet. I'd like to read off what I got, but they're all imports of games I didn't recognize that were being pennied out. So, I don't know what the titles are. But rest assured, more PS1 games are on the way, which looks pretty sweet. Among them, though, is, what do we got here? And I don't know why I ordered the Japanese version, just because that's, I guess, what, where is it at? Yeah, here we go. Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker for the PSP. I ordered that as well, and I ordered it because I got it for $1.30. Never owned a PSP. I've only played a PSP one time for about 30 seconds, and that was in a Best Buy. There was a PSP set up on one of those display things, and it had Tron set up. So I walked up to it and I held it with the big cable, that comes out, and I walked around for like 2 seconds, just long enough to feel what that analog stick is like. I was like, that's really small. And then that was it. That's my entire experience with the PSP. But now I have the Japanese import version of Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker. Disc only, mind you, but coming in the mail for $1.30, which is pretty cool. Like me some Metal Gear Solid. I never did get around to playing, of course, because I never played it, never got my hands on a PSP. Yeah, so we'll see. I'll have to take a look at the PSP games and see if I can get my hands on some other, like, real playable cheap stuff. But they're not very expensive. You can get a PSP for like $50 now. And I'm sure you guys out there who do yard sales, hey man, I see those. You can get a PSP for like $1.50 and a bag of lollipops. I would love to get a PSP for $1.50 and a bag of lollipops, but that's just not an option right now. Alright. Video games. So I had this in my notes. It's gone now. I lost it in a reboot, but I had a run-in with old Sean, old Shawnee boy, our friend, the Gaming Beast. We played the Street Fighter Collection on Steam, which actually worked very well. It's very difficult to play games online with people overseas, but that was one of the games that seemed to work okay. And we played Street Fighter 2 is his flavor of choice. And let me tell you, I got the beat down pretty hard. I don't have this. I wish I had the note because it had the stats in front of me, but it was like 4 losses to 1 win or something like that. I want you to know, Sean, that I'm still feeling those defeats now, even days and days later. So, you're welcome. So let's talk about Neon Chrome a little bit. This is something that happened early yesterday morning. I was hanging out with the boys, with Alex Swingle and our buddy the Hollow Wanderer over on Discord, just chilling out. Not doing anything because Alex Swingle got upset, or not even get upset, but he checked out of Killing Floor 2. He uninstalled it, which sucked because I was really getting into Killing Floor 2, man. I talk oftentimes about years ago when I played the original Killing Floor. I just kind of gotten into Killing Floor 2, and in my mind I was like, this is the game now. This is the game that we're going to play. So I took 8 cents and I went and I bought let me back up a second. I went into my Counter-Strike inventory and I sold off all my crates. It turns out I had some crates that were worth some money. Not like a bunch of money, but like I had a gloves crate for in CS:GO. A glove crate will get you like 50 cents. So I sold off my glove crate and then all my other crates that were like a few pennies a piece. And in the end, I had like 60 cents, almost 60 cents. So I took my nearly 60 cents and I went over to the marketplace and I bought some skins. I bought some shiny guns. I bought some goodies. I was ready to go, man. I was pimped out. I had my little hat, my stupid little thing, and you put on the thing, and I had backpack thing and the stupid thing, and I bought like a Steam chat avatar of the Flesh Pound that I could use it when it's like, hey man. And the very next time we played, or the very next time I got online, he was like, yeah, I uninstalled it. I'm not I can't bear to play that game another second. It's like, well then, sounds like I just wasted 60 cents.
Nice timing.
All right. So if anybody wants to play some Killing Floor 2, I have a chat avatar and some fancy skins that we can use. Good game, though. Come on now. It's not perfect, but it's a good game. But my goodness, is it big. We're talking 60 gigabytes or something bizarre like that. Bizarrely just huge. Oh my gosh. Shortly after that, I went back to the original Killing Floor, and I looked at the achievements that I unlocked in the original Killing Floor, and I always think back on that game fondly because I had a lot of fun with it. I clocked 196 hours, which for me is a lot. To this day, the last time I played it, Steam shows us 2017, July in 2017, so it's been a while. But I did flip through the achievements, because I have some pretty good achievements in Killing Floor. One of the ones in my achievement showcase is the completing all the core maps on long on hard, which is, it's no easy task. Hard mode in the original Killing Floor is really hard. You're not going to do it unless you have leveled up and are playing with people who know what they're doing. Very difficult game. So I was flipping through my achievements and I noticed something. A good amount of my achievements are like early in the morning when I should be asleep. Hard pub crawl. Win a long game in West London on hard difficulty. Unlocked September 11th, 2013, 2:47 a.m. Lab assistant. Won a long game in Biotics Lab on hard difficulty. Unlocked 1:08 a.m. Okay, 1 in the morning you could do. Here you go. Raccoon King of the Dark Forest. Win a long game on Wire on hard difficulty. 3:19 a.m. Yeesh.
I've stayed up longer than that.
Yeah, I know you have.
One time I cheated a bunch of games on the Wii. My longest time was until 5 in the morning.
That was We've talked about this on the air. Yeah, when you would come in here after bedtime and everybody was asleep, and you'd fire up the TV and you'd fire up the Wii. I kind of envy you that, to be honest, because you'd have the office to yourself. Did you play with the lights off when you played, or did you have the light on?
I played with the lights off because I didn't want the fan to bother anybody.
Oh
just in
my
case.
gosh, it's the top secret video game club. I kind of envy you that. I'll tell you that much. And you play in just the glow of the TV. That's what I used to do. That's what I used to do. But it hurts you, man. It really does. So I remember it well, but I forget, like, crawling into bed at 3 and 4 in the morning and like not feeling good. So, thanks Killing Floor for that. You shaved years off my life, I'm certain. Right, but I was going somewhere with that. Swingo also was like, hey, just like as a matter of fact, I have a code for Steam Unlock. You have this game on your wish list. Here you go. I'll help a brother out. So he gave me Neon Chrome, which is a really awesome game that I'm 3 hours in now. I've really been enjoying it. I came across this game just cruising the storefront. I think it might have even been like one of those winter sale things. You know how like in Steam on the major sales they give you that like the showcase, and if you click through all of the showcase then they give you a card for free. I think I might have come across it that way. I don't know. But it's been on my wish list for a long time. And being a $15 game, I really didn't see buying it happening anytime in the near future. So this was really awesome. It's set up. How can I describe this game? It's a twin stick shooter at its heart, but you're controlling a person and walking around with guns. A little bit more like Hotline Miami rather than Geometry Wars. But a little bit more slow-paced than Hotline Miami. Hotline Miami is very arcadey, whereas this plays a little bit more like a roguelike. But that's the thing, it's not a roguelike. This is the part I love. The levels are not at all procedurally generated. It's actually a handcrafted game, which is awesome. I enjoy that. You start the game and you're this like hacker lady, and she gets in, the helmet comes down, and then she's controlling a person, and then the person gets out of like a cryogenic freeze pod and then goes up the elevator to try and kill everyone. But then when you die and play the game over again, you see the next cryogenic pod open, and then that guy comes out. So now when I die, there's like 7 or 8 empty pods from the previous times I've played. So yes, you can start over as many times as you want, but I can see the number of times I've played there, which is, I don't know, it's really neat. It's a nice touch. I've been enjoying gathering weapons and gunning people/robots down, and it's great. It's got local multiplayer, but I haven't had the chance to actually use that yet. So Steam tags it as action roguelike, which I would say a game really needs to have randomly generated levels to some degree in order to be considered a roguelike, but I would enjoy it. I'm having a good time with it. 10 out of 10. Well, not 10 out of 10. That's an expression, not really a 10 out of 10. Good score out of 10, would recommend. Alright. We're 19 minutes in. Let's listen to another chiptune. Stick with us. You're listening to Tiger Claw Radio. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's DDR Kirby ISQ. Free album, Remixes Volume 2. Head over to Bandcamp, look them up, get yourself a copy. It's good stuff, highly recommended. But before you do that, this is the part of the show just about 20 minutes in. We're 22 minutes in to be exact. I like to take just a few seconds to thank the sponsors, the people who dig deep, and they help keep the lights on. They give it their resources to make sure that we can come back every single week, because this is, in fact, a Patreon-sponsored program. So to these individuals, I offer early access to the show. Also, we do a little supporter-exclusive content once in a while. And I read their names off in a hall of distinguished gentlemen. They are Hemrock, Sendu, Tecmo Balls, Darabka, Konstantin Kelman, and Eric Controller. Gentlemen, thank you very much for helping out. I hope you're enjoying the party. All right. Just before we move on, I want to talk a little bit about something that I've seen on YouTube quite a bit. There was, you still see ads every once in a while, but these masterclass ads. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Tom Morello teaches guitar. What was another one? Oh my gosh! One moment, please. Those were baby pictures. And anyway, I spent a little time watching deadmau5. deadmau5 teaches electronic music, and I gotta say, that guy doesn't know anything. This is supposed to be a master class. I mean, if you want to subscribe to the master class, they want like $103 or something. They want a lot of money. So I took a little sample of old deadmau5. He loads up Ableton. He's like, I don't know how to play the piano, so I have to draw the music, and I don't really know anything about music theory, so I really just throw this down, and I guess it sounds okay, and that's really it. And here's a drum loop that I just downloaded for free off of a free drum loop website. We're going to put that in the background, and woo, man. Oh my gosh, ignorant millionaires. So that's deadmau5, and that was I'm not super familiar with the deadmau5 music, but I was shocked to see him just like randomly clicking in Ableton, and that was the masterclass or EDM. So woo, man. People like him though, I guess. You know, whatever. Just thought I'd throw that out there, that those masterclass things appear to be not at all worth it. So, be skeptical, my friends. And with that, we're 25 minutes in. What do you say? Ready for the fail bag? You ready for the fail bag, kiddo? You're not ready. You're not ready for the fail bag.
Yeah,
You're fired.
Just give me a minute to get something.
You're going to get mentally prepared for the fail bag? Alright, let's navigate there.
Are you still recording?
What? Yeah, I'm still recording.
Okay.
This is Red Letter Media over here. Oop. Been watching a lot of Red Letter Media lately. Give me a second. I gotta navigate on my YouTube window over to the fail bag. So if you guys want to converse with the show a little bit, there's a couple ways to do it. You can leave a comment on YouTube. It's probably the best way if we know each other. You can shoot me an email. Just be clear about what you're okay with me reading on the air, so there's no confusion, and we'll see what we got. Oh, hang on a second. My favorite YouTube channel, Vocal Synthesis, has a new one. They have Bob Ross, the painter, reading the Navy SEALs copy pasta. One moment, I must listen to this immediately.
Me too.
Okay, right. Now that we're back from sampling Bob Ross, I'm making my way over to the comments section. YouTube Studio is loading. Because we can't use static HTML. It's not fancy enough. We need technology that's fancier and a lot slower. So we're going to click on comments. And we're going to get rid of comments I haven't responded to. Pavel Bazant left one on my Beast video. Beast for MS-DOS 1984. This is a game I used to play on my dad's computer when I was a kid. He got a copy from... To be perfectly honest, my dad's video games on his IBM 386 machine, I don't know where he got them. I don't know, because he never connected to the internet, right? The bulletin board systems of the 1980s, we didn't do that stuff. So he must have got them at work. We bought some games, like commercially. We had a copy of Space Quest. We had a copy of Vet. We had a copy of Pipe Dream, which is widely known as Pipe Mania, I guess, overseas. And then he had a bunch of Electronic Arts games that came in those like record album cases. But most of his games were just little floppy disks with the name written on it in pen. Like Beast, which is a little freeware MS-DOS game. I don't know where he got it. Must have been at work. That's the only plausible explanation. But we had it as a kid. Don't know where it came from, but we had it. So I made a little video. I don't know how long ago I made this, but it was years ago. And Pavel Bazin left a comment saying, "I played this a lot as a kid. Thank you for the video." Nah, Pavel. Thank you, man. It's really good to hear from you, because those videos, they weren't flashy. Nothing like that. But these were the games I grew up with, man. Some people played Atari 2600, and that was their introduction to video games. For me, it was Space Quest. Space Quest and Beast and Niet and other games that you had launched from the MS-DOS command prompt.
From what I can see, Beast looks like it would be like a ZZT game, but I'm probably mistaken.
It's pretty it's akin to a ZZT game. ZZT came out in the 1993. Beast came out. Don't do that. Beast came out in the 80s. So it was ASCII graphics like ZZT was, and it was a DOS game like ZZT was, but it wasn't nearly as complex as ZZT. This was literally just like you push blocks and you squish things. Try not to get killed, and that's kind of it.
Okay, I get it.
Much simpler. Okay, let me back it up here, because I've clicked away from my comments now. What did I do? I broke it. I really am turning into that the old man in the rocking chair in the porch. Next one was one on the strange handheld pocket game player, which is funny because that thing was something that my father-in-law gave me. He was like, "Hey, I got this thing in my desk. I know you get your games and you do things with the games. Here, have this game." And Ben Dover E says, "You don't find these, they find you. I own one." And truer words were never spoken. That guy's getting a thumbs up. A lot of people watch that video and say similar things. One guy said he got it in as a bar mitzvah gift and birthday presents. Nobody goes out to buy Pocket Game Player. You know what I want? I want Pocket Game Player. That's what I want.
Then be nobody. Go out and get one.
You know what's funny was we used to, in our bathroom, we have like a stack of plastic drawers like that you would get at like Target or something. Long time ago, when you were younger, one of those plastic drawers, this is before we had smartphones, was filled with these types of electronic games. And this game that's in the picture here was in that drawer, and you used to go to that drawer and play all the games, and you always left that one alone. Like, you would go for the Tetris one, or like Connect 4 or something. That one you were just like, eh.
I don't think I remember understanding it.
Yeah, it's probably too weird. Because it's supposed to be like a multi-game, right? Like you could pick the game mode, and it just was very strange. All right, so let's backtrack to the oldest ones. Yeah, here we go. This was a big deal, and this happened like right after I put together last week's show, so it didn't make it on the show, and I was kind of bummed. Cookie Fonster, right? We played him at the top of the show, and we played him on episode 327. He says, "I just found this, and I'm insanely honored to have been brought up in your podcast series. Very glad you enjoyed my chiptune covers, though my name is Cookie Fonster, not Cookie of Monster." Yeah, which is my bad. My bad, dude. "If I may ask, because I'm curious, how did you find my chiptune cover album? And I responded in text because I didn't know if he was ever going to listen again. Thanks for checking in. I found you by searching on Bandcamp. I believe I was looking for albums tagged with Famatracker, and I let him know that I would read this the following week. Yeah, I just on Bandcamp, man. Just go into Bandcamp, and I know Bandcamp has the chiptune tag if you go to Discover, and I do use that sometimes. But I find if you're looking for albums that have been up for a while, then you gotta use some search tags like Famatracker or LSDJ or things like that, and you can find these old compilations, a lot of compilations with some amazing tracks. You'll find them where it's like a compilation of 20 songs that was uploaded more than 2 years ago that has maybe 2 supporters, and it's free. You're gonna find a lot of that, which is really what I was looking for at the time. So good stuff. But I hit that follow button, by the way. So if you ever round it up together to get a new album out, we'd be happy to play it here. All right, thanks for checking in. Hope your life is good. Stay safe, stay clean, stay healthy. Desm 101, old friend, writes in. Sounds like you got some good games, man. I love the Ace Combat series. I need to get those PS1 games as well. And Chocobo Racing. Got that one on my PS TV. It's a fun Mario Kart. It's a fun Mario Kart clone with FF characters. Sounds like a spin-off of Chocobo's Dungeon. The controls are a little tricky, but I like it. That's awesome, man. I'm looking forward to it getting here. It's a little delayed, as you can imagine, because it's a package traveling internationally amidst the pandemic, but I'm honestly not in a hurry. I just got it because it was a deal. And, it was a deal. So it'll get here when it gets here. As for the Ace Combat series. So my father-in-law's a big Ace Combat fan. I've never played them myself. But what's funny is Rage Racer. I mentioned this last week. I used to play this game Rage Racer, right? It's one of the Ridge Racer games and for the PS1. It's a great racing game. But what I remember is the billboards. Was it the billboards or was it like the artwork? Maybe it was like a decal that you would put on one of the cars. The Ace Combat logo is usable in Rage Racer. That's where I first encountered Ace Combat. Because they're both Namco games, right? Ridge Racer series is Namco. Then you got Ace Combat. That's long-running Namco series. There you go. And then you could drive past a billboard for Ace Combat 2 in the middle of Rage Racer. I'll finally get to play them. So pretty cool. I hope the Japanese versions are playable. I can't imagine I would need too much text, but I don't know. I guess we'll find out soon enough, right? Yeah, I'm really excited about all that. So thanks for checking in, Desmond. Hope your life's good. Hope you're staying clean. Hope you're staying healthy. Death Adder says, my wife also doesn't like Subway. She only eats Jimmy John's, which is an amazing place to get a sandwich. Their beach club on Wheat is a masterpiece. I haven't been to Jimmy John's. You ever been to Jimmy John's, kiddo? I know they have them around here, but I've never actually gone to one.
No.
No? We like, I'm blanking on the name, but there's a sub place that we like. Oh, even that we don't get to go to very much. What's the sub place we like?
There's a sub place that I like?
We go there, like, the only time we ever go there is when we go on vacation. We usually go there the night before, and we get a bunch of subs and eat them on the road. So we go there like once every couple of years. Jersey Mike's. That's it. You know Jersey Mike's, right? You like their food?
Not sure. Well, for one thing, I do know that one time for a fundraiser, we tried selling Boy Scout popcorn out of Jersey Mike's. Sorry.
I remember that. We got the table and we did the popcorn and everything. How did it go?
I don't remember selling very much.
Yeah. Well, it's Boy Scout popcorn. People were right not to buy it. Let's get back to the comment. Death Adder writes, JRPGs? Final Fantasy 1 with save states and a walkthrough is only about 25 hours, I think. But I'm not really a JRPG expert. Is retired Mondo Roundverse Hall of Famer Shintai still around? I bet he would know. Shintai is still around, but he does not listen anymore. I would have to hit him up directly on Twitter. Wow, getting Morrowind to run on an original Xbox sound like its own hellish minigame. I did end up finishing Oblivion Vanilla, and I think I might take a minute before I play Morrowind. That was the first Bethesda game I played in a couple years, and I'm exhausted from it. I've been looking at some Oblivion and Morrowind. Excuse me. I've been looking at some Oblivion and Morrowind mods for PC on YouTube, and I was really blown away by the graphics. Here's a question. If some random dudes make a sweet PC mod, can Bethesda, in theory, just take that code and slap it on a disc and sell it as remastered? One final question. How does one play Elder Scrolls 1 and 2? I don't think I saw them in the Steam store. Alright, so you got some good questions in there about Elder Scrolls and whatnot, but before I answer them, I want to read Mecha Menace's follow-up. Mecha Menace knows a lot more about rights and stuff than I do, so he would probably be able to answer those better. Several sites exist that allow you to get good old games for quote-unquote free. Linking directly to outside sites will hide my reply from you, so you'll need to DuckDuckGo the following bookmark the top search result. First search term, old games RU. The site is in Russian, so it might be difficult to find. Where to download. Search your game at the top of the page. Click the link. Click, and then he has some Russian text on the full download. RIP, top link usually. Second search term, abandonware DOS. One word, search that. The site tries to be legit for some old games. Link to where you can buy them. Third site search, XTC abandonware. I have others. The Russian site is the best and does not remove software that American sites are too afraid to post. Okay, one of those I recognize, XTC abandonware. XTC abandonware is long been my favorite abandonware site. Whenever the software goes on sale legitimately, they pull it and they link to GOG.com. So you're not going to find Ultima. You're not going to find Alone in the Dark. You're not going to find the Activision Quest games, Sierra Quest games, Space Quest, Police Quest, King's Quest. None of that stuff. But you will find Beast. You will find Niet. You will find Pinball Construction Set. You're going to find ZZT. And you're going to find a lot of great stuff on XTC Abandonware. They do a good job. I recommend them. But you're not going to find the Elder Scrolls Arena or Daggerfall. They're not there. Okay, so there is a guy, I wish I could remember his name. He wears a tie and he talks about Elder Scrolls for a really long time. He pointed out, okay, I'm going to look this guy up now. It's on YouTube. If you just look up best way to play Daggerfall, he looks like a used car salesman. There's a link to a place that doesn't just have those games, but patched versions that work really well. Because here's the thing about Elder Scrolls 1 and 2. They're freeware. Bethesda actually released them legally as freeware. The problem is, if you go and get the official versions, you got to use some... You're putting that in my face. Please don't do that. You got to use some text magic to kind of make it work, and I never figured out how to do it. The way I ended up getting them was I bought one of the Elder Scrolls games on GOG, and when you do it on GOG, they give you Arena and Daggerfall as a bonus, like the GOG tricked out versions. So that's how I played Daggerfall. I played it on GOG. So you have some options. Arena, I've heard, is hot garbage. That's the first one. But Daggerfall is a charming game. Daggerfall, as Sean has told us on many occasions, for a long time it was the largest video game world on planet Earth. The largest one. It's still the largest Elder Scrolls game. Because they just set it up to randomly generate world, and they said, okay, randomly generate us a world the size of Great Britain. And it's enormous. There's not a lot to compel you to walk across it, but if you decided to walk across it, it would take you an entire week. Lots of fun stuff in Daggerfall. I enjoyed it. You also asked about if some random dudes made a mod, could Bethesda, in theory, just take the code, slap it on a disc, and sell it as remastered? Interesting question, because I think the answer is no, but game companies have done that in the past. Half-Life did it with Counter-Strike, right? Which is why when Dota started getting... Dota 2 was on the rise. There's like legal battles surrounding who owned the rights to Dota. And then you have... that's one of the big things that's going on with Warcraft. Warcraft 3. A lot of people were upset because when Warcraft 3 was recently remade and released, they made it very clear in the EULA that whatever you guys do, whatever you do with your mods, it belongs to us, baby. We own it, and we're not paying for it, and you're out of luck. So if you want a mod, Godspeed. Thanks for being a free employee. I don't know. I really don't know. It's really kind of hanky. But what are you going to do? Doom did it too. Final Doom was made up of community maps. Although they might have been submitted, which would be a different thing. I don't know. That's an interesting question. You guys who know more about this weigh in. I was kind of hoping that Mecha Menace would have touched on it in his comment. But apparently he didn't. Come on, Mecha Menace. Alright, we got one more. Give me a second here. Alright, last one's from Mecha Menace. Give me a second. I got some tea here. Oh, that's good. Good stuff. We're drinking Trader Joe's English breakfast tea tonight. Goes down smooth. I miss my red rose tea. But I'm all out and I can't make it down to Safeway to get more. So Trader Joe's it is. Drinking to my health tonight. Mecha Menace 4 days ago writes, isn't your son a little bit young for the rebellious goth self-loathing years? It always sounds like he's picking the downer, dark, and downright dank, as the kiddies say, songs, while you're picking the chipper ones. I too am partial to the Game Boy, and Link's Awakening was my first Zelda. We had a 5200, so that didn't last long. And, we had a 5200 that didn't last long. And more memories exist on the Game Boy than on the 5200. So I count it as our first real system. Yep, I like the Tal Mountains song more. Especially since it didn't have the ear-piercing bell of that Dungeon remix. Your son may like another remix of Dungeon and Fairy tunes from Zelda entitled You Will Not Survive on OC Remix. It goes places. It's dubsteppy. Oh yeah. So you just walked in, you missed it, but this is the one person who addressed our song choices, and he liked mine better. He liked the Tal Heights Zelda song that we picked out last week. But he had a recommendation for you, so let's check that out. You Will Not Survive on OC Remix.
Cool.
We're going to go, let's see. We're going to duck go that thing, because I don't know what OC Remix is. There it is. Alright, let's pause this so I can play it. Alright. We just listened to that nearly the entire track. 5 minutes and 55 seconds. Let's say we made it about 4 minutes in.
Yeah, I'd say it was pretty good, but I have heard some better songs, but that was pretty good. I mean...
I've heard better songs. I've heard worse.
Oh, I've heard way worse.
Mecha Menace knows his stuff, man. That's a good track.
I mean, by saying that, I'm not saying it's bad. Those better songs...
Thank you for the recommendation, Mecha Menace. We liked it very much.
I have heard a few better songs from, for example, what was that guy's name? Spamtron.
Spamtron makes good music, or he did back in 2009. I don't think he releases anymore, but
I mean, I don't think anything's going to beat that. Let's be honest.
yeah, Spamtron's good. We've played him on the air many times. Many
But it
times
was a good
indeed.
suggestion.
So listen, it's Friday. Tomorrow's my wife's birthday. We made it about 46 minutes, a little on the short side. But we're going to hang it up for the week. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out and talking some video games. I've enjoyed I've enjoyed playing. I kind of wish I had a little more time, but isn't that just the way it always is? I'm even stuck at home during the pandemic. I've just been a million things to do. So big thanks for spending some time hanging out. And I'm wishing you all the best this week. Stay healthy, be careful, and I'll see you next Monday.